All right, now Google Infomart and Grainger. This is basically how we start off our solar system as we're going from furthest to nearest. We're going to Jupiter, back to Mars, and it's basically working out the coordination strings between the Southwestern Bell in Texas in 1931 of Barton Creek Square Mall, and even more scholarships and scholar pageants that you can be in that characterize your compassions, and that's just basically up to the 721 people that are interested in those types of fashions. And this is basically telling you all about local county. It's not about national state. It wouldn't be talking about some Trump or Mitt Romney or Greg Abbott. Would be talking to you other than votes and and population, as far as urbanization and deforestation and stuff like that. It talks about a little bit something like that. And that's basically where my proposition takes 861 different turns of its own private compassion, starting 2006 to 2022. And that's basically where everything's get brand new, and that's basically where you're working on more modern model numbers and item types. And that's basically where you're working on more independence as well in multi-fashion ways. And that's basically where my company of ecoleaf comes in, as it elaborates and enhances the points that it needs to characterize the motive, and get the 1926 to 2001 motive started as we get more brand newer through 2022 to 2024. And it's basically starting a new year off at a 6-year advancement. And it's basically where you're urbanizing a great credibility of where to start your newer atmospheres of Sonic, Whataburger, and P. Terry's. And that's basically where you're working on Grainger and big trucks and mega centers, Ergo Herb, Eco Herb, Spotify, PMC, which is particularly for quarters. Is basically how you use your quarters, how you add placements to quarters as far as where you want to park and where you want to combine your change bank, and gain your prominent state of stay. And that's basically where you gain your midpoints, as far as getting more towards something that you're interested in, or more towards something that you are used to. And that's basically where you get in your whole college or successful career trait started as you turn 16 and go to 23 to 28, and being further on with your successes. And it's basically working on 1926 to 2008. You're able to work on 30 years of that compromise within a lifespan to a lifestyle. And it's basically working on 36,000 a year for 8 years. And it's basically where you're working on it's basically where you're working on bigger tax insurance, and being able to sufficientate a whole amount for a wholesale provides under 861%. And it's just basically giving midpoints of a complete structure that was already built in 1961 and reestablished in 1980 and 2008. And we basically been recreating a better midpoint of a more urbanized platform of the reason why that component exists. And that's basically takes 961 hours out of 12 months. So you just got to be patient with that, and be able to have leisure for a good 391 minutes a month. And it's basically where you're using like 2290 months to eat and use the restroom, and use your common couture to 1886 to 1986, and just living with the living wealth of your health habits. And it's basically where you're being more projected to um, wear fashionable clothes as you get more into the W-2 forms, and more into the nationalist composite of where you belong and where you reside yourself in the 1961 to 2010 Renaissance, where you take travel and you stay in hotels more often, and you live to the upper echelon time. And mine's is not to share just because it is a special profile, just for my own intelligence. And I basically started that a long time ago in 1961 of 2006. And it's just my own profile of my own tradition. And that's basically what keeps the holidays happy, as we enhance abilities of what we learned in 2006. And that we're always moving forward between that, because we building up combining like terms as far as 861 pieces of wholesale. So that's basically sharecropping $3,000 or $38,000, $3,800, and he's basically being able to afford new positions for yourself in 2016 and 2021. And that's basically what we do as at Catfish Industries, to add extras to the piece pack, and be able to build a full component between what we do and who we interact with, and what's our team model as we move with Penske and Grainger. So all of that being said, that's basically what Comcast Grid talks about. And Comcast Grid is more like the distribution side of things, and being able to create a compassion for banking and transferring EOs, and being able to um, use the same origin for every state at a higher rate of frequency. And that's basically defeating the odds by 761 dimes every time. And being sure that you have the accurate stability makes a greater compromise for all as well. And that's basically where you get into a $404,000 point. And that's just the most experiences that you would get out of the present 361 hours that you're living. And being able to express yourself. That's basically going through 1761, 1881, and 1984. And it's basically where you're going through the most majority times of conversation of composition, and of those points. And it's better if you know how to use your talents behind those things, and get those affiliated with yourself. But I can only say so much and give so much information out. That's only 761 dimes of information. You got to be able to break that amount down, to use your IQ acknowledgeability of what you're hearing and what you're seeing and what you can compare to. And it's basically all your definition after that point. You're not you're not being in trouble for plagiarized art if you creating your own analysis of how you believe of your sport, and you filled so much data in between what's your sport and what's the next sport. And it's basically where you're looking at Airbnb, you're looking at a company between Airbnb and using it with companies like Purple, like the Purple mattress that we hear about. And it's basically where you're using more of that interest rate, and it's basically 36,000 being transferred over, and being able to use that. And it's basically where you're using a multi-platform.